left-hand one was your before. Like I say, posture-wise, a little bit round in the back, but not too bad in terms of the general angles, okay? If I just zoom in a bit closer here. So, again, thinking about where that golfer would have been on the ground, we said behind the ball, that sort of drill towards the end there. Putting the ball kind of on there, obviously a bit further on the inside, but you get the idea. If your club was to go... Your club's missing that ball, even on the outside that ball's too far, your club's missing that ball straight away. Okay? It's almost been picked up, probably nearer vertically going upwards and actually going backwards. And so it's almost like going straight up before it's starting to go around. So that lifting, okay, as the club goes back here now, your lower half and really your shoulders aren't really moving at all. So you're lifting the club up very much on the outside, so that club at this position now, way outside the hands. Okay, almost like a Matt Wolf-esque kind of thing, I suppose, on TV. All right, club now through is very steep. Now you've got to start engaging the torso and trying to sort of twist. But as you can see, as you start doing that, there's a rise up through the body now, and the club getting very long, as we said. Then when you start turning and twisting, the club now, this is the pitching wedge, you can just see, as we said before, sort of appearing behind the left sort of left shoulder there. So big swing, very kind of left arm, high elbows, because a big gap in your elbows, and not really sort of powerful position to return that club back to the ball. And your path then, as a result of that, having gone back kind of a little bit this way and up, it's generally going to come back on a similar kind of line. So as you're coming back into the golf ball now, right shoulder now turning through, got a club you can see is still out of the hands a lot, coming across the ball, and then again a weaker shot therefore as a result. Okay. So in terms of those positions, again, if we go back to this one here now, so there's kind of your halfway back. This one here now on the right, working on, basically, as we said to you, how far inside can you swing it? Now, even that there, I wouldn't say it's that far inside. And this, for you, felt as far as you possibly could inside. The only reason being is at the moment, if I put a green line, that's kind of your left arm, and the red line represents your golf club, is out there. So therefore, your club has moved a heck of a long way inside, okay? Relative to your body, not a lot. Relative to where you were, loads. Which is why at the moment you can't swing too far inside. Now what you'll find, the more you sort of swing this way, eventually rather than the club being here, it will be here and then here. And if we say you can roughly move your club from where it is swinging to as far as you can inside, say for example, that's just 1 metre of change, just needs a number. If you move the golf club then to that middle blue line here on the left-hand side, and therefore you do as much inside as you possibly on the next few swings, a metre from there now is going to be here. And if you then start going to the correct position, but then think, oh, I must go as far inside as I can, you're now off the screen, aren't you? There is going to be a point where you might go a little bit too far. So hopefully before we see that next time, we can check that and so on. But the club's going to be starting to work more on the inside. As you swing the top here now, you can see obviously the shorter backswing. Do it without looking and then check it. Yes, that's way inside there, obviously. As we go back to the golf ball, okay, same again. The feeling of swinging the club way behind you. That one's a little bit more inside, okay, behind your hips there now, as you can see, because the second one now is obviously a bit more movement to the first one, and then you get the golf ball. And then when the ball actually comes to be hit, as you'll see, comparing that on the left-hand side now to this one, what you felt to you as far on the inside as you possibly can, there's your club going back now, which to me is spot on, yeah? Left arm nicely under your shoulders there, or left hand, so hands under the shoulders. Club now nicely in front, club face, there's your spine angle, there's roughly your club head, so spot on. Club's in a good line there, okay, and at the top of the back, so as a result of you not being able to swing back as far, you can make a full shoulder turn, and look, Bob's your uncle, there's the club face. There's no overswing there at all, is it? Very good. But now from here, what I like to try and do, once this becomes kind of the norm when you're getting into more to this position, the work on the downswing of how your club comes back. So rather than the shoulders trying to get some power and trying to shove it this way, we're going to get those hands and arms working a bit more, get that club working down a slightly different angle coming in here, increase that efficiency still further. Okay, the club's a lot more direct to the golf ball there now, hence with the ball fizzing towards the white line. Lovely strike, and then through to your follow through in the 7 irons at 120, you'll get 122, was 124 maybe was some of yours, 8 irons, sorry. So we're getting that number up. With the wedge, it's going to be a lot easier because it's an easy club to hit. You got to about like 110, was it, like 107 or some of your wedges. Then with the 8 irons, sort of the 125. So ideally speaking, we want the wedge to be around the 105, 110. The 8 iron to be about 130. Your 6 iron's going to be at your 150. And then that eventually will probably creep for another 5 yards further up. So your wedge might be the 110, 115, your 8 iron at the 135-ish, your 6 iron sort of 157, 158, give or take. Okay? But if we can work on that takeaway, get that takeaway working better, next session in, I guess, a couple of weeks' time, we'll work on that downswing, okay? I want that, though, to become the norm without any feeling or any thought process to get there. At the moment, you'll have to try and think about where that club is, yeah? Which is fair enough because you're making a change. But if we can get to that stage there without thinking about it, then we'll change the thought process. Make sense? Good man, right. See a few more then.